Let's do it. Let's do it. Broadcasting from around the world, you're listening to the First 100, a podcast on how founders acquired their first 100 paying customers. Here's your host, Hadi Radwan.
Good to have you on the show, Nozomi. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining the pod all the way from Japan. Nozomi Ito is the co-founder and CEO of MagicPod, which is an AI no-code test automation platform that supports high-speed, high-quality software. And people using MagicPod, such as developers, can easily automate most of their UI testing one step at a time, all without having to write any code, which is for me something I love, because we're running also a no-code insurance platform, and I have a lot of questions to ask you. But before we dive into that, you've raised $2.4 million from Strive and Angel Bridge. If you were to explain, Nozomi, what MagicPod is to an 8-year-old, how does it work?
Okay, I will explain as simply as possible. If you visit a web page, you click buttons, input something by keyboard, etc., etc. It is nothing special. But if you are a web page developer, you need to perform this manual task every month or every day. Each time you develop something, you need this task to check if what you created works correctly. It is very troublesome and tedious work. MagicPod automates this task and performs it every day instead of you. If you create instruction steps for MagicPod to tell it how to manipulate a web page, MagicPod understands it and can perform checking operation. You are freed from repetitive tedious works, and you can use your free time for more creative things.
Amazing. Nozomi, how are you different from Selenium, for example, which is a common tool used by a lot of developers to do testing?
Mm-hmm. Selenium requires development skill. Selenium, we call Selenium as a coded tool, so it requires developer knowledge, and users need to have a programming language skill. But if you use MagicPod, developer language is not required. Actually, more than half of our users are non-engineer, so you can use MagicPod without any programming skill.
Amazing. Take us back to the founding aha moment. How did MagicPod come to fruition?
Mm-hmm. Great. Before founding MagicPod, I worked at an IT company, and at that company, testing process was very inefficient. So to resolve this very inefficient manual testing, I wanted to create an automation tool from scratch. But I initially thought its technology was too difficult to me. But anyway, I decided to challenge it in my spare time. And by using my deep knowledge about various programming technologies, I created its first prototype in just 2 days. It recorded human's mouse operation and keyboard operation, and it replied them. So it was a very surprising moment to me, because I found I had the ability to create such complicated test automation tool completely from scratch. So I started my involvement with test automation tool since that time. So, and finally, I quitted my job and established my own company to create a better test tool for all over the world.
Amazing story. Thank you for sharing that, Nozomi. Now you have more than 500 customers, some paying, some non-paying. Take us back to the early strategy. How did you find your early customers?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I used the blog and the social media. When I came up with the idea of MagicPod, I created a prototype just in 1 month. And by using it, I created a short demo video and posted it on my blog. It was widely shared by people through SNS and social bookmarks. And more than 5 people registered their emails for the waiting list of MagicPod. They were our first prospects. And based on this early prospect feedback, we worked on MagicPod development. Actually, it was very complicated and challenging task to create a test automation tool, especially a tool for mobile application. And MagicPod was very immature in its first 2 years. Actually, it required 3 years for us to get our first paying customer after this first prospect list. But through the first 2 years, our early customers helped us a lot by their very helpful feedback.
Amazing. If you were to go back and you've probably had a 10 times bigger budget, which channel would you have focused on to get more customers into the door?
10 times bigger budget. It is amazing. So it is no doubt I would spend it on product. A test automation tool needs to have lots of features to get even early customers because competition is not so small and there are many competitor tools already and they have many features. And the number of features are very important factor of decision making. Actually, we had many good early prospect leads. Many people said MagicPod was the future, but we couldn't conclude a paid contract for a long time, just because MagicPod was immature and it did not have enough features. If I had more budget, I surely would have invested it on product and would have gotten more paying customer more quickly.
That's great. Thank you for sharing this. I mean, most of the people I talk to, they would focus more on the marketing channels. You focus on the product, which is quite amazing given the fact that MagicPod hasn't been around for a while. But more importantly, I think it's all about finding the right co-founder. And this is something very hard. A lot of startups, they fail because mismatch between the co-founders. How did you find your co-founder and why do you think it was the right fit together?
Okay, actually, I must say I also failed to get a good co-founder. So when I established my company 10 years ago, I established the company with my former colleague. But he was not the right fit. And he resigned the company after 1 year. So I gave up the first product at that time and switched to consulting business. And it took about 4 years until I launched the latest product, MagicPod. So I couldn't find a good co-founder, so it is very difficult. But even so, through this experience, I learned a lot of things from co-founder. So firstly, right fit is much more important than skill set. Even if a co-founder has a good skill, if he does not fit me, it won't go well. Also, I learned people cannot change easily. When I and the co-founder were in the same home company, he frequently complained about the company, work environment, and his manager. I thought this is because the company's environment did not fit him. But even after we launched this company, his attitude was not changed. So it is not easy for people to change. And finally, but even after he left the company, attitudes of people around me did not change at all. I had been concerned that if the relationship between me and the co-founder were broken, people around me regarded that as a critical failure and disappointed me. But actually nothing changed. So it is very good thing to me.
What's the best advice you've ever received, either from an investor, a colleague, or even a client or a customer?
Yeah, I think the best advice is from our VC. Many VC gave me a lot of advices, but Akaura-san, our first investor from Japanese VC Incubate Fund, gave me the best advice. Even after his investment, MagicPod revenue growth was stagnant for a long time because it did not have enough features yet. I was always reluctant to attend a monthly investor meeting and report the monthly progress. MagicPod was stagnant But every month, he said, continue what you believe. If a company's revenue growth is stagnant, VC easily says you should pivot or you should reconsider your strategy. But he said instead, he believed in me and told me to continue what I believed. So following his advice, I continued to improve MagicPod feature. And after 1 year, MagicPod became enough matured and finally we began to get good customers. His advice really encouraged me and I really appreciated him.
Amazing. What's a principle that you live by that has served you well on your journey?
I think it is sincerity. It is one of the most important MagicPod values. I always try to communicate with employees with honest and sincere manner. If the employees understand that, they also behave in sincere way in return. They trust the company, and if they trust the company, they don't quit the company so easily. And we also keep this sincere attitude toward our customers. Then customers behave in the same manner, and communication with customers become very comfortable and easy. Also, if they love MagicPod, they even promote MagicPod by themselves through social media, their own blog posts, or tech events. It is very good feedback and good cycle. So sincere attitude affects all stakeholders and it largely helps our business.
Excellent. Nozomi, one last question. What's next for MagicPod?
So far, MagicPod has focused on Japanese market. One of our next goals is expanding our business to the huge global market. Another goal is expanding our target customers. Currently, many non-engineers prefer no-code solutions like MagicPod, but many engineers still prefer coded test automation solution. So, no-code solution is sometimes causing divide between engineers and non-engineers. I want to get back their collaboration. So, our next plan is supporting both code and no-code use. An automated test script created by the no-code feature can be converted to the code script, and the code script can be converted to the no-code script. This dual-use feature will make collaboration easier, and this is the next our big goal.
Amazing, Nozomi. Thank you for stopping by. 2 more questions. Are you hiring and where can people reach you?
Okay, yes, we are hiring mainly global sales talent and software developers. And people can reach me on LinkedIn. I'm welcome people's message always.
Excellent. We'll put that in the show notes. Thank you for stopping by and we wish you the best of luck on your journey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the First 100. We hope it inspired you in your journey. If you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe to our podcast on Apple iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or Spotify, and share it with a friend starting their entrepreneurship journey. Leave us a 5-star review. Your support will help spread our podcast to more viewers.